Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yay, right? I think we can clap a little bit. Good morning, yay! Happy Sunday. Welcome to everybody here in the center, and welcome to everybody watching us virtually online. Welcome to Centers for Spiritual Living, Temecula Valley, where we gather to come together as a group and remember the truth of our being. So it's my joy and honor to start off services today. We will begin with our centering song with Randy MC, and then our invocation with practitioner Beth Haas.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let my spirit guide. I vow to live a life that's real and true and free, as I continue walking in this mystery.
So let's turn on the mic. So let's come together in consciousness, allowing our minds to open at the top, allowing our hearts to open as wide as possible in this moment, this sacred moment of turning within. And in the turning within, there is the presence of the One, of love, of harmony, of peace, of vast intelligence. It is this presence we call God. It is this part of us that recognizes in another that presence of God. And so as we turn within and connect with that, we allow ourselves to connect with each and every heart in this space, in this moment, in this understanding that as a community, we are a spiritual being, greeting itself, recognizing there is only love. And so I know this day is that reflection of connection, of understanding, of greeting. It is that understanding that we are here to be all that we can be as we walk this mystery of life. And so today is a good day, and I bless it, allow it to be, and so it is.
So it is. Amen. Oh. Thank you, Beth. Thank you. Ah. We could just be handing this to each other, right?
So welcome, and thank you, Beth. Thank you for that beautiful invocation. Beautiful, beautiful. Welcome. My name is Charlene Kussner. I'm a licensed practitioner here at Centers for Spiritual Living, Temecula Valley, as well as a ministerial student and intern with the Holmes Institute. So thank you for being here. We are supporting Reverend Catherine in her month-long sabbatical, well-deserved, and so she will be joining us again next week as we move into September. So this is our last Sunday with our team together here
Thank you, Randy MC. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for your introduction. I get to like vamp with you now. I like it. So Randy will be our guest featured speaker today, our singer today. So I'm excited to hear that. Yay. So welcome. I just wanted to deepen into gratitude because as of late, the headlines have been my prayer request. And I'm sure that is the same for each and every one of you. So as we come together here to be with one another, to remember love, to remember spirit as the source of our being, just helps a little bit more in dealing with, in observing all the effect that is happening in the world, which is challenging. So it is good to come together as this community to share love, to support one another, and remember the truth. So we can go back out there, know the headlines, observe the headlines, and yet know the truth, right? Know the truth. So thank you for being here. So I'm hoping that today's service is engaging and joyful and gleeful. And so with that, we will start with our congregational song, and I'll ask Beth to come up here with me, and we'll sing together. We can clap.
Feel free to groove along. Oh, I am standing on the shoulders of those who come before me, and I am following the footsteps of those who led the way. Yeah. Sing it again. Oh, I am standing on the shoulders of those who come before me, and I am following the footsteps of those who led the way. Like Jesus and Gandhi and Martin Luther King and Mother Teresa, they all had a dream about living and living the love that left behind. Their candle is still burning now, and we got to help it shine. Oh, I am standing on the shoulders of those who've gone before me. Yes, I am. When I am following the footsteps of those who led the way. Yeah. Oh, I am standing on the shoulders of those who gone before me. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh, and I am following the footsteps of those who led the way. Every time I stumble, every time I fall, I think of all the sacrifice and my problem seems so small. The road has been well paved, with the dues they have all been paid. I hear their voices calling me to reach a higher place. So I am standing on the shoulders of those who got love before me. Oh hey, oh, and I am following the footsteps of those who led the way. Oh, and you have made us strong. Yes, you have, oh, and we will carry on. Yeah, one more time. Oh, I am standing on the shoulders of those who come away for me. And I am following the footsteps of those who led the way. One more time, here we go. And I am standing on the shoulders of those who come before me. Oh, and I am following the footsteps of those who led the way. Oh, and we will carry on.
So for our moment of gratitude today, there feels like there's a lot of heaviness. That's why I was speaking before about the headlines, our prayer requests. There's a lot in our world right now. There's a lot. And so I thought about the Sikh practice of remembering the sunflower. And so I wanted you to all look at it. Take in the image of the sunflower, okay? It's like it's opening up like a heart space and shining, right? So take it in. And I'd love it if you could now close your eyes and call it in to the center of your being. This sunflower. It is your center. Call in the golds, the brown hues, its radiance. And know that this lives within you, at the center of your being. It is that divine spark, that light that is God. And just take a moment to deepen into gratitude that that resides at the center of your being, the sunflower. And now know that that same sunflower resides at the center of everyone. And extend your sunflower radiance out into the world. All those challenged right now with COVID, with illness, all those overseas, all of our service military personnel, bathe them all with your sunflower light. Love them. And then return to the center of your being, knowing this sunflower is ever present. And just take a moment to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So with the breath coming back to this space, thank you for playing with me, imagining with me. And I hope that we can take this sunflower energy with us today and all week until we gather again. Namaste. All right, so Beth. Oh. Beth, I think we're doing our reading, yes.
Little rusty.
No, it's fine.
We're good. So our spiritual reading for today comes from our book for this year, 365 Days of Richer Living by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker. So take this in as an affirmation. As you hear the words, just allow them in to sit within you, to sit on your heart. Today's is entitled, All of God is My Inheritance. He who created me acts through me. He has never loosed me from his eternal embrace. Infinite mind is my Father, and infinite love is my mother. Unto me, their beloved creation, they have given fully of themselves. All power in heaven and on earth is mine, for my inheritance is incorruptible. Though I let my human mind deceive me, still the heavenly presence enfolds me, knowing that I shall awaken to truth. I now realize that I am a child of God and free to live with wisdom and plenty. Health is my inheritance. Pure life flows through my body as pure thinking flows through my mind. Prosperity is my inheritance. Around me is all of God. Within me are the unlimited resources of mind. The bounty and fullness of spirit are mine this day and forevermore. Ideas are my inheritance. I have unlimited ideas of good to express. I always know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Never a hesitation on my part, for God has revealed right action for every moment. With this inheritance, I am always well and prosperous. The riches of this universe invite me to partake of their goodness, and I accept them with joy. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Beth. Beautiful. All right, so it is my joy to introduce our featured singer today, Randy MC. Yes, yay. So Randy came with us, with Danielle, and he has been a wonderful accompanist, and now we get to hear him in his fullness. And so I just wanted to give you a little bit more background on Randy. So I asked him when he started playing the piano or becoming musically inclined, and immediately said 3 years old. 3 years old. He was. So this is a calling, right? This is a spiritual calling for Randy. And he recently traveled to the southern United States. He spent some time, extended time in Virginia, but was in Nashville and New Orleans, and he was traveling all over the South, and he was really inspired by Southern culture, Southern spirituality. And so he's releasing a new AP soon, and a lot of his songs on that AP are inspired by his travels to the South. And I think he may be traveling back there. I think he was really called to the vibe of Nashville and New Orleans, and I think he's probably going back. So we'll keep him around as long as we can hold him, but he may be going back there. And so his music can be found on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Pay, through Randy MC, and it helps to just put in one of his song titles. And today's song that he's going to be gracing us with is called High. So please welcome Randy MC.
I hope it sparks a little joy in your life. Your body's like a rock, I feel safe around you. Bring me back to June when we didn't have an issue. Take me to the top, I'm happy that I found you. I miss you, got me feeling so high for you, baby. I can fly in the sky like a kite. I'm feeling so high for you, baby. I believe I can conquer the world with you by my side. I can't figure out why everything feels so right. I want you in my life, got me feeling so high. Make me close to you, then you set me on a mistake. Thought I had my way, then you play me like a chess game. Now you're just a ghost, haunting thoughts that never go away. I like the way you got me feeling so high for you, baby. I can fly in the sky like a kite. I'm feeling so high for you, baby. I believe I can conquer the world with you by my side. I can't figure out why everything feels so right. I want you in my life, got me feeling so high. Got me feeling so high for you, baby. I can fly in the sky like a kite. I'm feeling so high for you, baby. I believe I can conquer the world with you by my side. I can't figure out why everything feels so right. I want you in my life, got me feeling so high, got me feeling so high for you, baby. I can fly in the sky like a kite. I'm feeling so high for you, baby. I believe I can conquer the world with you by my side. I can't figure out why everything feels so right. I want you in my life, got me feeling so high.
I think that's it. I think when you hear me go, that's it, that'll be it. You'll know what that's referring to. Feeling so high. Thank you, Randy. That's a great way to come to the talk. Feeling so high. And today's talk is called Rise and Shine. Rise and Shine. So our monthly theme this month was pause, become aware, know guidance, rest, rejuvenation, play, and I'm going to add now waking up, being self-aware. And so we walked through this month. We started with self-awareness, like, check your engine light and look under the hood. And then we moved into doing it afraid. So the light's on, right? And we're aware, and we are indeed leaning in, and we're doing it anyway. Even if we have a little fear about it, we're doing it anyway. And then Reverend Sarah invited us to play and to imagine and to expand that doing it afraid, adding some joy and imagination to it to kind of take the edge off. And then Reverend Michael last week with stop, look, and listen, right? Pausing, looking, listening, and hearing. And so I'm asking us today to rise, to reemerge, and to look at those areas that when we might have been hit by what I call the cosmic 2x4, right? Those moments that really get us, and to rise through it, to reemerge, to awaken. Because I really do believe that self-awareness is really one of the biggest spiritual practices that we can have. Just having an awareness, working to know ourselves in a deeper and deeper way. That journey never ends. I know, I'm 52 and I'm having awarenesses now, or heck, I really wish I would have had these awarenesses when I was 18, but I'm having them now, right? I'm having them now. So it really is that walk with each other that just never ends. There's always something to be aware of. So the CSL, Centers for Spiritual Living, calls self-awareness the practice that illuminates our alignment with each of the science of mind principles. It is the practice of being conscious of one's motives and hidden beliefs. It's a willingness to observe and take responsibility for choices. Self-awareness is the foundation for conscious choice. So we are called to wake up, to be aware. So when I use the term wake up, I'm meaning self-awareness. Let's wake up more to ourselves. Because how do I make a conscious choice to maybe, like an amoeba, I always tease, even an amoeba knows to shimmy away from something. That's a one-celled organism, and I have many cells in this form, right? So I need awareness to wake up, to make a conscious choice, and shift my life experience. Draw into my life experience that which I want. More freedom, more love, whatever the more is, it's infinitely available to us. We just need awareness. Make a choice. So I'm going to start today. I tease Reverend Catherine and my beloved Jack that when I'm in ministerial school, whatever class I'm in, that's what I'm becoming. It's a joke. So when I'm in my Buddhism, my Kabbalah class, I suddenly think I'm a Buddhist. And when I'm in my Sufism class, I think I'm a Sufi. So I'm going to bring in some of the Eastern practice today because that's currently what my focus has been on. And I wanted to start with a story. It's a true story. And I learned it in class. And it's not widely known, but it's about the Buddha and his family. And so before the Buddha was the Buddha, and he was Siddhartha, and he was a man, and he had brothers and sisters and a family, and they were all disciples on the Eightfold Path. They were all working on it. This was new concepts for them, and they were leaning in. And the Buddha had a brother who was a disciple and a guru, and he had his own disciples that kind of came to him, and they would contemplate together. And so they would gather, and in the Buddhist faith tradition, they have what's called koans, and they are essentially those questions that are posed to us that are just really either unanswerable or the meaning is only within ourselves, like, what was your face before you were born? Similar to what we have in the West of, if the tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? And so they would contemplate these deep thoughts. And so he's there, picture it, he's on, under the tree, and he's there with his own disciples, and they're gathered, and they lean in and say, brother, what should we contemplate today? And Payne leans back and he says, okay. And he says, come closer, gather. And they gather, and he says, okay, what is the sound of one hand clapping? And they go into contemplation, and they're thinking and thinking, and then finally one of the disciples says, brother, I'm listening and I'm contemplating, but what is the sound of one hand clapping? And he says, brother, come in. So closer still. And he reaches back his hand like he's going to deliver some divine message, and he says, whack, right on the cheek. That is the sound of one hand clapping. And that is the story of Rascally Buddha. Rascally Buddha, right? Because Mary Oliver says, all things are inventions of holiness, some more rascally than others. All things are inventions of holiness, some more rascally than others. I like the word rascally. Because sometimes, indeed, we get slapped awake, right, with that cosmic slap. Doesn't feel good, but it happens. And so we are at choice, right? We can wake up and think to ourselves, what was that experience all about? Or we can turn away from the slap and not look at it, not deepen into the experience of it. We're at choice, right? Because we can look even when we're afraid. We can look right into the core of that experience and deepen. Really examine it. I mean, how many times in our lives have we had these experiences where we've really gotten, I have had them, really gotten slapped? And I make another choice, and I take another direction, but have I really looked at it? Looked at my part to play? What were the choices that I made to create that experience of getting slapped? Because all things, right, are spirit. Some more rascally than others. Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith says, spiritual awakening is a journey of the heart. Every person's heart is aflame to know its true nature and to commune with its source. And I really feel that the work of looking at rascally behaviors is heart work. It's heart work. Very challenging to see through rascally behaviors up here in my frontal lobe or my eyes, my physical eyes, right? I have to move into this heart space to really see into those rascally experiences, to really know what they're about. Because spiritual awakening is heart work. Waking up is heart work. Self-awareness is heart work. Heck, sometimes I don't like my self-awarenesses. I really, there are aspects of myself that I look at and go, oh, yeah, I wish I had behaved better. I wish I had acted in a more loving manner. I wish I had had more patience and ease in that moment. And that's not here. That's here. And so this month about pausing, right? When we pause, when anything is rising up in us and we pause, that's when we can get here. That's when we can get here. Because we are limited beings. But we all are more than our limited humanness, right? My humanness is limited, might be limited. But I am much more than this humanness, and I am unlimited. Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, says this: "We proceed on the theory that there is a divine presence in everything and everyone, and this presence responds to us. Our recognition of this, our acceptance of this, our prayer of affirmation causes a response to us in a new way. This is a new manifestation that rises to the level of our expectation, our faith, our conviction, and our inner acceptance." And so what he's saying there is, when we look, when we have an awareness, when we wake up, we rise up just a little bit more, and Spirit meets us every time. At the end of every prayer, I say, I place this into the power and action of the law, that place that only says yes, only says yes, only says yes. It never says no. Yes, yes, yes. And so when we rise, it says, okay, I'll meet you there. And that's how we create the change in our life. So Spirit is cloaked in rascaliness. And, you know, I have leaned in, just like the disciples leaned into their trusted advisor, right? They're leaning into him, and the rascally Buddha says, you know, surprise. And I've done that. I've leaned into experiences. I've leaned into jobs that I didn't need to stay in. I've leaned into relationships that I didn't need to stay in. And when we can wake up, sometimes we get slapped, but we wake up, raise our thinking and rise, Spirit meets us, and we are transported into that new job, that new relationship, whatever that is, to rise up. Give us more of what we want. Because I think sometimes I think I know, and then I think I fall asleep again. I have an awareness, I think about it, and then I look away again. And it takes courage to really look and stay with it and not turn away, because it might be more comfortable to look away. It might feel better. But if we really want to make a change, if we really want our life experience to be different, we have to look. We have to stay aware. That's the work to do. Because then when we do that, we rise, and Spirit meets us, risen, and says, yes, I will deliver that life experience to you in the way of a new job, a new partner, more freedom, whatever the more is. And wouldn't it be nice, when I was thinking about this, I was like, oh, you know, I always talk about the cosmic 2x4 and like, you know, and them slapped awake now with rascally Buddha. Wouldn't it be nicer to get kissed awake? Right? Kissed awake. Because sometimes I fall asleep, and I kind of gloss over here. But as we do the spiritual practices, right, as we come here, as we meditate, as we express creatively in whatever form that is in our lives, as we say yes to more of the spiritual practices, it's less of a slap. It's more of a kiss. And the kiss is much nicer than the slap. But again, we still have to be aware, right? We still have to raise our vibration and be aware even when we're kissed. And so that is leaning into what we do here. If you want to know, well, how do I get kissed, Charlene, instead of slapped? How does that happen? Well, staying awake. Leaning into self-awareness, meditation, contemplation, reading things that inspire you, listening to inspiring music, any way that we can raise our vibration. Being creative, art, dance, movement, anything we can do to raise our vibration keeps us kissed awake. And the more that we do that, the more kisses we get. The more more kisses we get. The slaps get fewer and farther between. And you really do ride on this current, this vibrational current of good. And I know here at the center we have a saying that we've had way back, oh, how usual. But that's the truth. When you're kissed awake and you're staying in that place, it is usual. Your life moves with ease, with grace, with abundance, with freedom. It moves that way. And I'm not saying we don't sometimes get a tiny little slap on the cheek, but overall, you move in a freer way. And that's what we do here when we come together, is to remember, because we need reminders that we can spiral up. The Sufi mystic Rabia of Basra said, "My body is covered with wounds this world made, but I still long to kiss him, even when God said, 'Could you also kiss the hand that caused each scar? For you will not find me until you do.' Could you also kiss the hand that caused each scar?" And so that's what I'm calling us to do. I have moments in my life where I felt really brutally slapped by an experience. And I don't think about it. I made different choices and I've created better life experiences, but have I really looked at it? Because sometimes when you get that distance behind, when you had some distance from the slap, you can look at it with less hurt. And you can see, what part did I play in creating that? What was the great gift that I took away from that? That moves you right into gratitude, right? Okay, yeah, that experience was not fun. I'm here now. I'm alive, awake, and aware right now. And the gift from that experience was it delivered me to this. It delivered me to this. And I'm so grateful for that. Because I may not have been delivered to that moment without that scar. And the more we do that spiritual practice of looking at those moments in our lives where we've had great challenges and kiss it, that's how we vibrate higher and we stay there. Recently, I was doing a thing for a large CEO group, and I was doing some research on valuable traits of successful CEOs, leaders that are well regarded by their employees, and I found this, and I thought it was interesting. When 100 CEOs were asked about necessary skills for success, they produced a list of 14 abilities. Thinking globally, creating a vision, embracing change, etc. No one person could have them all. But one meta ability emerged: self-awareness. Leaders need this ability to assess their own strengths and weaknesses and surround themselves with people who complement them. And as we examine and we have more self-awareness, I call on it, each of us, to examine that too. Who am I surrounding myself with? I like this crowd very much. I am grateful that we surround each other. But really, looking at our life, who is my tribe? Who inspires me? Who lifts me up? Maybe there's some areas where I might be like an amoeba and just shimmy away a little bit from something that might be poking me. But to look at our life experience and kind of do an inventory. How am I doing? How are my friends? How are my peers at work? Because it's a great opportunity to see if there's a change that needs to be made. And that's self-awareness. That's not waiting to get slapped. That's being kissed. Is there something that I could change? Am I affirmed by all those that are around me? Maybe, and that's wonderful, but it's self-awareness, right? It's examining it to stay awake. Because when we use our spiritual practice tools, we arise, awaken, and live in an atmosphere of conviction that God is in all, even when it appears the most rascally. God is in all. So our charge is to stay awake and know that God's creation is perfect, awaken to that fact, and know that we are walking, moving, breathing, swimming in the kingdom of heaven. And can we look at those woundings with our heart vision, right? Coming back to that spiritual work that Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith said, it's a journey of the heart. To see through the rascaliness and see spirit residing there. Because we are alive, awake, and aware today. That alone is enough for gratitude. So this story is kind of a little bit longer, but I really love it because some of my biggest takeaways, like Reverend Catherine, are from movies. And so this comes from Harry Potter. Standing on a golden perch behind the door was a decrepit-looking bird that resembled a half-plucked turkey. Harry stared at it, and the bird looked balefully back, making its gagging noise again. Harry thought it looked very ill. Its eyes were dull, and even as Harry watched, a couple more feathers fell out of its tail. Harry was thinking to himself that this is all he needed was for Dumbledore's pet bird to die while he was alone in the office with it. When suddenly, the bird burst into flames. Harry yelled in shock and backed away from the desk, and he looked around feverishly for a glass of water or something to dump on this bird that's igniting in front of him. It had become a fireball. It gave one loud shriek, and then the next second there was nothing but a smoldering pile of ashes. The office door opened, and Dumbledore came in, looking very somber. "Professor," Harry gasped, "your bird, I couldn't do anything. He just caught fire." To Harry's astonishment, Dumbledore smiled. "It's about time, too," he said. "He's been looking dreadful for days. I've been telling him to get a move on." He chuckled and looked at the stunned look on Harry's face, right? He said, "Fox is a phoenix, Harry. Phoenixes burst into flame when it's time for them to die, and they are reborn from the ashes. Watch him." Harry looked down in time to see a tiny, wrinkled, newborn bird poke its head out of the ashes. It was quite as ugly as the old one. Dumbledore said, "It's a shame you had to see him on burning day. He's really very handsome, most of the time with red and gold plumage. Fascinating creatures phoenixes are. They can carry immensely heavy loads. Their tears have healing powers, and they make mighty, faithful pets." And so I just love that because that's what we are. Each one of us, rising phoenixes, right? And sometimes it might feel that we are in the ashes, but you know what? Burn a little bit, because we can rise. We can awaken to more of ourselves through that process. We can carry much more than we give ourselves credit for. And the work we do is healing the world. As metaphysicians, we are healing the world. And so the spiritual practice is appreciation for stars, scars, flowers, and weeds. That's what I'm calling it. Stars, scars, flowers, and weeds. Can we look at everything as being cloaked in spirit? Everything. The gratitude practice is easy. Go look at a star. Look at a scar. Look at a flower. You really look at it. Look at a weed. Somebody recently said to me, weeds are much misunderstood. They're very beautiful. Everything cloaked in spirit. And so, Dr. Holmes says, as our thinking rises to a higher comprehension of the nature of spirit, the source of health, beauty, love, life, abundance, automatically our thought patterns are improved and become more productive of good in our lives. Trained thought versus untrained thought. Grateful for stars, scars, flowers, weeds, all of it. And so I'm going to conclude with this poem for Prayer for New Life by Marianne Williams. Dear God, on this day I ask for new life. I ask to be reborn in spirit and mind. I choose to consider as possible, through the grace of God, the total transformation of my mind and body. The mystical nature of who I am is known to me, dear God. Let me see revealed the depth and power of my true self. Let me be transformed today. Let me have awareness. Let me rise like the phoenix, vibrate on that higher level, and create the life experience that I desire. Let's stay awake. Let's be kissed awake together. And so it is. Amen.
When it rains, it pours, but you didn't even notice. It ain't raining anymore. It's hard to breathe when all you know is the struggle of staying above the rising water line. Well, the sky is finally open. The rain and wind stop blowing, but you're stuck out in the same old storm again. You hold tight to your umbrella. Well, darling, I'm just trying to tell you that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. If you could see what I see, you'd be blinded by the colors, yellow, red, and orange, and green, and at least a million others. So up the boat, take off your coat, and take a look around. 'Cause the sky is finally opened, the rain and wind stop blowing, but you're stuck out in the same old storm again. You hold tight to your umbrella. Well, darling, I'm just trying to tell you that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. Oh, tie up the boat, take off your coat, and take a look around. Everything's alright, 'cause the sky is fine. wind stop blowing, but you're stuck out in the same old storm again. Let go of your umbrella, 'cause darling, I'm just trying to tell ya that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. Yeah, there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. Oh, it'll all be alright. Oh.
Thank you, Randy. That was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. So it is our time of service for sacred giving. As our ushers prepare to support us, every Sunday I am grateful. I mean it. I mean it with my whole heart. I am grateful for the gifts, the tithes, the offerings, the support, the service, all of it lends to the work of this center. Education, service into the community, what we do here on Sunday, this support buoys all of that. And the work we do is good. And the work we do here as metaphysicians heals the world. And so I am grateful. Thank you for your support and your tithe and your service. And so there are many, many ways to give. For those of us on Facebook, online, you can go to our website. There's a donate button. You can hit that. Diane Keys is in the office, and she is available to take your phone call. You can do a payment over the phone, or you can mail it in the old-fashioned way. All ways are supported, and we are grateful for them. And so here in the sanctuary and those online, if you could take your gift and put it to your heart space, right? That place of operation in each of us that just bathes everything in love. And just bless this tithe, this offering, this gift of support, knowing the good works that are supported through this offering. It is good and very good. Amen. And so together we say our affirmation of blessing. And so please join me in saying it together. And I hope we can say it with gusto and really call it in. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, love is my everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Love is my source, joy is my power,
Science of Mind book study has been taking a break, but it's coming back. So end of September, it's going to be rolling out again. It's a great way to come together as a community to study a book of choice and come together, talk about it, learn lessons from one another. Our men's ministry meets on Wednesdays, both online and in person at Journey's Restaurant. Reverend Michael Summers is leading the men's group, and he's available for any information. Our Sisters in Spirit group is also meeting. They meet on the first and third Thursdays of the month, and Pam Migliosi is the contact. You can find all this information on our website, and it's also in the chat box on Facebook. We have a Wednesday Community Connection series. Every Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock on Zoom, we get together as a group. It's a time to take the Sunday message, what we kind of gleaned from today, a little deeper through an online discussion and a meditation. Everyone's welcome. Our Facebook page has the link, our website has the link, and Reverend Catherine will be back leading it this Wednesday. I'm excited about this one. International Day of Peace is September 21st. It's a Tuesday. So we, the Practitioner Corps, are planning a day of peace. Prayer, meditation, and reflection. Knowing peace on earth. We can do it. Coming together, taking a day to join with the rest of the world on a day where we are centered on peace. So more information will be coming on that on the website and here at the center. Our food donation is continuing. We support the community mission of hope. We have committed to be a regular supporter of our local food bank. Donations of non-perishable items can be dropped off here at the center, and we take that over to the community mission, and they really are grateful for our support. Recently, we decided we're getting back into, after summer, we're gonna eat healthy, and we cleaned out the pantry, and boy, did it need cleaning. So, I had a lot of things that were not going to serve me, but they certainly will serve somebody else. So please consider that and bring in food donations here. All right, next week, Reverend Catherine is coming back, yay, from her sabbatical, and she really wants to kick off the last part of the year, and she's going to do that through spiritual questions and divine answers. And so what she's asking for is what kind of topics are on the forefront of your minds so that we can support that and focus on those topics on Sundays and beyond and in our classes. So we really want to know, what are you thinking about? What's concerning you? What's up for you? And how can we then support that through what we offer here on Sunday and in our classes? So if you have a question that you'd like to see addressed, there are a couple ways you can do that. You can email them ahead of time to Reverend Catherine at revcatherine@csltv.org, or you can write them on an index card. Next Sunday at the beginning of service, we'll have everything here. But either way, join us next Sunday as we welcome Reverend Catherine back and have questions and answers and learn more about ourselves. Should be fun. So I want to do a special thank you as we wrap up. This month has come together with great support from a lot of folks. We all leaned in together to support Reverend Catherine in being able to just take a month off and breathe and honestly really not think about us too much. She's always thinking about us, but maybe thinking about us just a little bit less. And the way that happens is through support. And so Beth, Mary, Jim, Susie can't come up, but can you come up here? Please come up. I want each of you to have a sunflower. I want to say thank you. Beth has been helping and supporting on the Wednesday night community. Mary has done the same. Thank you, Mary. Thank you for everything this week. Pam, you too can come up here. Oh, she went to count. Jim, so I have some sunflowers for folks because they really leaned in, and Randy's going to get one too. Oh, yeah, Randy. Susie's going to get one. She's behind the camera, but there have been a lot of us leaning in and to make this happen. And so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you can stay up here. Stay up here because we're going to pray.
Sunflower delivery.
Oh, Susie gets one. Thank you. So thank you. And so as we move into our time of prayer, I would ask that if there's other practitioners who are out in the audience, that they can come up and join me up here. I know Janie might be holding light back there, so thank you, Janie. But let's just move into this time of prayer together, okay? Kim? Yeah, oh yeah, she was hiding from me. Kim, please come up here and join us. Thank you. Perfect, thank you. So, oh, Julie, thank you. Come up. You're hiding from me. Thank you for just rising and coming forward. So I'll let Julie come up, and then let's move into a time of centering and prayer. All right, she's here. All right, so let's just move within. As Randy noodles in the background and delivers that beautiful sound for us, let's just deepen into our center. Let's give ourselves the gift of this time together to remember the truth of our being, the truth of this life experience and beyond. I know God as that power, that source, that love that is in the center of all expression, cloaked in spirit, everything is. It is revealing itself, driving itself, being more of itself in all ways. And so I know that I am this love made manifest, as are each beloveds here, beautiful representations of the divine in their words, in their thoughts, in their actions, each cloaked in spirit. And so I know as we move into this time that we deepen into the recognition of the sunflower that lives and breathes and resides at the center of our being, radiating its spark. And so when there are any moments of feeling the challenge of the appearance of this life, that we move into that center of our being, remember the sunflower of love expressing in each of us, and we meet it, and we pour our love into it, and as we do that, we heal it. And so just taking that deep breath of life, remembering the love at the center, with great gratitude for this knowing, for these beloveds, for all that say yes to the call, I am grateful. Knowing that these actions, that these thoughts heal the world. And so I just take this and place this into the power and action of the law, knowing as I say it, as I think it, it is done. The law only knows to say yes, yes, yes. And so it is. Amen. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, practitioners. Stay up here with me. Yes, take a sunflower. So as we close today, Randy will lead us in our congregational song together.
There was a time I thought that I had to do it all myself, for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go, let it go. And this is what you have to say: I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
So knowing we go forth, remembering that sunflower that is the center of our being, and we greet all those other sunflowers in our experience. Have a wonderful week. Blessings.